Okay, so this episode starts off at the nun school where they start to like enter in, and it's immediately once they like walk into the building, it cutscenes straight from that to Tiffany waking up in her bed because she's Jennifer Tilly right now. She's like that. This is canon in this timeline, and she's like, "I'm Jennifer Tilly," which I love. First of all, also may I shout out that I love Jennifer Tilly. Something about her voice to me is so angelic, and I just like I would want that as white noise, and I hate white noise. So I would like, yeah, yeah. It's like that's like really cool to me. Anyways, um, and we start off with her like she's like getting up from bed, and then she's like touches something that's bloody, and she finds a Tiffany doll head in her bed, and it's like bloody where she's screaming bloody murder, and then she like goes over to fucking Nika, who's in a room, and last time it left off for season one, this girl has no limbs. No limbs. Nada. Nothing. Not shit. Like, she can't walk. She can't pick up shit. It's just bad all over. So, this is not funny! It's just, poor Nika. And he's like, I need to talk to Charles real quick. Cuts her hand, bloody. She's like, how'd you do that? But the real question is, Chucky's laughing. He's like, I'm coming for you, Tiff. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm like, if you're coming for her. So he's like playing a Willow Wait game. Like he has something in mind. And I want to know what the hell he has in mind. Because this is something that's becoming a common theme within this episode, at least, by Chucky just like analyzing information, getting what he needs, getting his coins in order, Instead of just going at it. Because he could have killed Tiffany if he put the doll in their head, in the bed, really easily. So like that like was really cool. I don't know. It like makes me ponder. I was like, what is Chucky planning? But anyway, we get to the title card, and each episode has a different type of title card, and this one had a title card of portrait. And I thought I would understand what it meant by the end of the episode. I kind of still don't. So, maybe there's something I missed. Let me know. Hit me up in the comments if there was something I missed. That's all I feel. Anyway, so they like, and then it jumps back into the nun school. I need to stop saying a nun school. What the fuck is that called? The disciplinary Catholic school or whatever. And, and the priest is talking, giving a sermon, of like during mass to like them getting the proper clothing, and then the nun's like, "What's size 4?" She's like, size 0." She said, "Oh no, bitch, Miss Mama, you're size 4 over here." With his like nun outfit and tells her to take off her makeup. And then this was so funny. And he's like, she asked Devin, she's like, "What size is your waist?" He's like, I'm a 27. And he's like, "Ooh, you're underweight." He's like, "Oh, thank you." I was like, "Yeah!" I started screaming. I was like, "No!" Not them promoting not them promoting Devin being such a twink right now. I was like, no. No, that was just funny to me. Because at the end of the episode, like last season too, Chucky was like, "Kill the twink." So I'm like, I love how they're continue this running gag of like Devin being that twink. But to be honest though, I guess Devin would be the twink and like Jake would be the otter because Jake's like skinny still but toned and like taller. Yeah, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see that. Anyway. Oh shit. Anyways, what the hell does it say? Elizabeth / Osborne fighting for attention. Tacos. Oh! The nuns, for some odd reason, I guess they like looked like they were fighting for something. I guess they were like they're at a competition. It's like Father Jacob's like they're fighting for Father's approval of like best nun or something. And I thought I noted it down because it was odd. She was like, because like when they opened up Chucky's package, it was like, "Oh, who's it from?" It was like, "We don't know." And then like the nun Elizabeth did like, and she's like, I see the Lord's face in this doll," and she's like, "But didn't you see the Lord's face in a taco last Tuesday?" She's like, "That was different." I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to get this or not, or this is supposed to like come up later. But noted. So like that's like pinpointed and noted for me. Like maybe it's gonna pop up in the middle of the season, next episode, we'll see. But I think that's just odd. I mean, I feel like you wouldn't include that writing unless like you're using it purposely. So I'm more excited to see like where that like ends up and where that leads to. In a way. So And then they're like going to their dorms. So I thought this is so cute. This is so cute because it's like we get like a little bit more like intimacy between like Devin and Jake. Because like also side note, Devin last episode is like he's like I know I love you in tights, but bro, like I'm cooking for you right now. I was like look, Devin being house, mama. No, I was like he's like I'm cooking for you right now. I was like I love you in tights. Like anyway, he's like oh we're sharing the room. Devin's all excited about it, but Jake's just like we can't let them know we're gay. You know how Catholics feel. I'm like yeah kind of, but it was really kind of cute at the same time. And it's like, and the priest is like, no fraternizing. And I love that also Jake makes references just like that guy reminds me of my dad. Because it's the same actor who played his dad and his uncle in the last season. So I was hoping they would make a reference to that. But like, I hope Jake says something about this. And he does. So that made me happy. And I thought that was really funny. He's like, no fraternizing. And then as like, obviously as like they're in their dorms and whatever, we get exposed to Lexi's roommate. And they are interesting to say the least. And we also see more of Lexi's drug problem that comes into crisis. And it's kind of a lot. We end up finding out that they end up stealing, which comes up what their sin is for is that they steal, and that comes up playing like later in the episode. And then we get to meet Trevor, who Lexi was talking about, who her mom had sent to this school, who had bullied her, and not gonna lie, they were giving very cult-like mentality. It was kind of scaring me a lot. I didn't like it, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I was getting terrified. He's like, and the Lord be with you. And the other people are just like, and with your spirit. And then in John Corinthians 15:14. And I'm like, oh my God. Like they're each like spitting off different verses. I was like, this is like giving cult-like behavior. I'm like, yo. It was wild. So that like kind of scared me a bit. Not gonna lie. And then Chucky decides to immerse himself in this episode, and he pops out and scares the nun, like he's like, hi, what's up, bitch? And she has a heart attack, which is an homage to Chucky 3, which is also one of the worst Chucky movies in the franchise, period. I don't want to have anyone tell me anything. Honestly, I put Seed of Chucky above 3, but they're still both at the bottom 2, for obvious reasons. It was just bad. It was just bad. Like, I hated it, and it made me mad. Like, why would you do that? Anyways, and I like that because, like, they just, like, the nun had a heart attack, which is, like, a homage to the third movie where the sergeant had a heart attack from seeing Chucky. And he's like, come on. He's like, oh, my God, cool. And then I noticed he took a picture of her, and I was like, why does Chucky have a phone? What is he taking pictures of? And I'm glad they, like, led the song because I had a question for it because I jotted down in my notes. I was like, what the fuck is Chucky doing with the phone? And it was explaining at the end of the episode, which I'm going to get to, which I thought was really, really cool. Once it does that, we get more of Jennifer and Nika scenes where Jennifer, I love how I was saying Jennifer. Tiffany, this is going to be so confusing. Tiffany was watching Jennifer Tilly movies and, like, reenacting, like, her, like, the lines that Jennifer Tilly was doing. And she was like, oh my God. Like, she's like, because Tiffany isn't Jennifer. So, like, she's trying to, like, relive and be Jennifer Tilly and, like, get that whole actress moment. And Nikki's just like, this is sad. Like, this is embarrassing. When are you going to go get a job? And it was like, because Nika was like, you're running through money? She's like, how did you run through $100 million? And I'm just like, damn. I was like, Jesus. And Nika was putting out facts. She's like, you need to get a job. You need to do something because you can't be reliving and trying to be Jennifer Tilly, but then using all her money and stuff like that. And I thought that was funny. Next thing you know, the doorbell rings, and she's like, who's that? Wait, what? Like, what's going on? And so Jennifer, like, gags up Nika. I thought that was funny. And then Nika was just like, also backtrack. It was funny. It was funny. Because Tiffany's just like, you're just trying to escape. And Nika's like, how am I going to escape? I ain't got no legs. I ain't got no arms. like, how am I going to do it? What am I going to do? Roll down the hill. Like, honestly, though, I thought that was funny. But then the detective comes to the door. And this is when I have, like, a little bit problems with, because Tiffany's just like, oh. And she's, like, being so sus right now. He's like, we're looking for a missing person. He's like, do you know? And she's like, no. He's like, but do you know? No. She's like, do you know? I'm like, Tiffany, you're being so sus right now. Like, why are you being this sus? And it was like, okay, we're looking for a girl. And then Nika Pierce is like, oh, I don't know. He like slams the door in her face. I was like, oh, on his face. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is a kind of a lot. I was like, why is she being so sus right now? That like kind of took me out of it for a bit. And I didn't really like that for the most part. And then we lead into, what does it say? My notes say it takes practice with Jake's nuns up chumming. Oh yeah, okay. And okay, they fast forward into the nun school. I don't know what other way to say this. Not nun school. But they like fast forward and Jake's just like, I got to the bathroom, but he knows he's trying to cook Chucky. And my thing is he tried to grab a plastic knife. What that plastic knife gonna do? And he's just like, come here. Okay, work. And he's just like, what's that plastic knife gonna do? And next thing you know, the father's just like, we need to have you go through this first. And he's like, I'm gonna leave you in here, and I'm gonna we're gonna come back when you have a favorite Bible verse, and you're gonna start reading it to me. And Jake's just like, okay. He slaps the fuck out of Chucky with the Bible, which I thought was disrespectful. He's like, quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. He smacked him. And next thing you know, Chucky ends up taking a picture of him and going up the chimney. And I'm like, why is Chucky taking pictures? He's like, gotcha. And which then leads into like, Chucky ends up like, which then leads up into like the story plot of like Lexi's roommate. She steals, and she's like, all the good stuff's under the bed. And, like they're trying to like have a heart-to-heart moment. Say, okay, cool. And Lexi's like kind of being dismissive about it. We then see that Chucky's actually she stole Chucky from the stairwell, and Chucky's then trying to get out while Lexi's also doing drugs. And so they scream, and Lexi tries to like everyone's like at this point everyone's rushing in her room. She's like, what's going on? Why are you screaming? Ah, And Lexi's trying to be cool, and it's like, the bathroom. And she's like looking at Jake, and she's like, and they're like, what? The bathroom? She's like, oh, I just don't have my bathroom. And oh my God, it's kind of like poor. Jesus. Trying to play it off. And then Jake and Devin find Chucky in the bathroom, and they like tie him up, and they find out that he's actually like an intel Chucky. And that's why he hasn't been trying to kill them. He's been taking pictures of them, trying to get information of like where everything's around, like the school at, like etc. for intel. And they're like, so it like leads more to the lore of like what's going on. And then once that happens, we get our final scene, which honestly is kind of my favorite. I think it's like it's quite funny. The detective, what did it say? Twins to find out detective. Okay. Yeah, because we actually, which I'm really excited for. We get like, because we got teased of Glenn and Glenda at the end of season 1. And we're getting them this season. And Tiffany's just like, oh my God, my darling twins are coming, Glenn and Glenda. And they think she opens the gate thinking it's them. And it's trying to find out it's the detective. And he's just like, I think Nika's in this house. Like, can I come in? And she's like, oh, you're right. And she's like trying to be like all seductive and shit. And she ends up, but while like the detectives like going in there, we find out that Nika is actually plotting with Chucky to take down Tiffany. Nika's upset because they ain't got no arms. They were paraplegic before, so they can like go roll around the wheelchair, but now they can't do anything. This is not funny. But Tiffany really did her dirty. Like, why would she do that? She could have just took the legs. Why she gotta take the arms, bro? Just in risk of Chucky? Like, bro, come on now. But anyways, I'm gonna have to wrap this up because my stomach is growling. I'm quite hungry. Tiffany ends up then killing the detective in the same style as she always does, with the nail file in the throat, and she's like, yeah! And then she's like literally scrambling now because now the gate's open again, and it's actually the twins, which I'm really excited for. Like, you see them pop up with like their they, them license plate. I was living. I was like, yes, go through that binary gender fluid. Let's go. Oh, I was like living for it. And Tiffany then tries to clean up this blood with this nice white fur coat. Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Anyways, I was like looking at that. I was like, why are you doing that? she's like trying to clean it up, and then like the twins like pop up, and we don't see their faces yet. We kind of see their faces in the trailers, so we know what they look like. So I don't know why they like introduced that, like just for suspense like that, because it ends off with like Tiffany saying, Glenda, it's nice to see your sweet faces, but we don't get to see their faces until like episode 3, and that's what the episode ends off on. And I'm really, really excited to see what Glenn and Glenda do in these series, because baby, I'm like, they were my favorite in Seed, and I feel like they should have got more shine and light to it. So I'm like, like, where is this about to lead to? But this is caught up for episode 1 and 2, and we're gonna get ready for episode 3 coming out literally next week. And I'm really excited for like what's more in store for this, because Chucky seems to be plotting. So the question is, what is he plotting? What's about to happen? What's going to be going on? And like, what's more to come? So this is exciting. Anyway, thank you, Chocolatizers, and you guys have a wonderful day. I gave you like a 2-part thing. I hope it didn't run too long. All right, thank you. Bless. Have a wonderful day.